there's no way in the world you're gonna come out of college and making more than 50 grand. So that was really embarrassing. All my friends are posting on Facebook, all that stuff. I was gonna get kicked out of my apartment. That was rock bottom. I had no idea how I was gonna figure this thing out.
Welcome to the first episode of ZayZo Stories. I have with me Mike, amazing friend, one of the best leaders I have known, Dwayne Golden Jr. You know, he works for a very reputed software company selling cybersecurity, and he's made changes to a lot of lives. So Dwayne, first of all, thank you very much.
You kidding me? I'm excited to be on with you, man. We're gonna have some fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, so Dwayne, the idea is, you know, people around the world, working class especially, needs to know your story. So I'm going to ask you a few very simple questions, and it's about not your wins this time. It is about, you know, how you've lost and, you know, you've pulled your way back up. So starting off with the first question, who wrote you off first, the world or you?
It definitely wasn't me. I would say the world. So I was never really a good student. I ended up failing high school. So I failed my senior year of high school. So I never got my diploma. Well, all my friends were walking the graduation stage. I was at home playing video games because I didn't have the grades to graduate. So that was really embarrassing. All my friends are posting on Facebook and all that stuff. So that happened. But somehow, despite failing high school, I was able to get accepted into a college without a diploma, which is a miracle in and of itself. It doesn't even make sense. But I wanted to be a salesman, even as a young kid, because my dad was. And I understood the power of a good message. So I knew that when I was applying to these colleges, that if I had a good essay and the right person read my story, I had a freaking chance. Ended up getting accepted not into one college, but two, without a diploma, which is unheard of.
That is awesome.
I had a teacher tell me once, there's no way in the world you're going to come out of college and making more than 50 grand a year. I make way more than that now, thankfully.
Well, you know, for everyone out there, like you heard, don't write yourself off. What did rock bottom look like on a Tuesday afternoon?
On a Tuesday afternoon? Okay, that's rather specific. Let me think about rock bottom. Rock bottom for me was I had a 1-year-old child. We were so broke. We were living in Miami, which is a very expensive city to live in. One day I came home and I had an eviction letter taped to my door.
No way.
I was going to get kicked out of my apartment. And I'm married. I got a 1-year-old child. I have no idea how this stuff was going to work out. And that was rock bottom. I had no idea how I was going to figure this thing out. I was able to borrow some money from my dad. And at that time, I had just got hired at Kasey as an account manager.
That is such a beautiful story, man. Was there a part of you that believed the world was right?
You know what? To a point, sometimes. But I grew up in a very, you know, macho household. I grew up in a house with only brothers. I had 2 brothers. And my dad had all brothers. He had 6 brothers. And almost all my cousins were boys. So I grew up around a lot of guys. So we're always very competitive. Okay. So I was forced to learn to believe in myself despite that, you know, some of my disadvantages. I always had that internal belief. Were there times doubt crept in? Certainly. But I knew that the only way I was ever going to win is if I believed in me. Because here's the truth. If you don't believe in you first,
100%,
you can't expect somebody else to.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, that is such a powerful statement right there. Was the decision to fight back a big dramatic moment, or just a quiet, exhausted fine, or let's go?
There's so many moments you can kind of pinpoint, but I think it's a habit, right?
Yeah.
Just like everything else is. Losing is a habit. Like if you ever see a really bad football team or cricket team, right?
Yeah.
Losing is a habit, but so is winning. So I think growing up playing sports really impacted my mentality. I grew up in a house where my dad said, yeah, you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
We're not quitters in this house. So I think growing up with my dad and my mom really, really helped. So giving up on that was never an option. And I knew for my career, there's certain, you know, realities to living in America and in different places. But for us, like, you know, I'm not a white guy that's 50-year-old. So, right, I understand that in my role, for me to get what I want, I've got to be exceptional. I'm a high school dropout. I don't have a college diploma. Despite the fact I got accepted to colleges, I still ended up failing out of college a year later. So I'm remarkably unqualified. The only way that I was able to get here was having to always fight back since a child, being put in those situations. Like I knew for me to get where I wanted to go, I had to be exceptional, which means putting in more work than others.
Well, I feel everyone listening around the world, you know, what Dwayne just said, you know, I think he's a very humble soul, but, you know, to his point, I think you need to fight back.
Yeah.
I think you don't have an option. If you're looking to make it in life, you got to fight back. So thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
What did you have to unlearn about yourself to rebuild?
Everybody has like negative thoughts in their brain.
Absolutely,
that, hey, you're not good enough. For me, I made the decision, and I think it was a decision. I'm not going to stop learning just because I'm out of school. Most people, when they finish college, they stop learning then. They stop reading books.
I would agree.
I'm obsessive. Since I was like 17, I've been obsessive about reading books about how to make more money. So sales books since I was 17 to today. I'll probably finish like 3 or 4 books per month. Whether it's about sales, whether it's about business. Like I got a lot of catching up to do. I don't have master's degrees. You know, I could have fell down into that belief. I just like decided, no, I'm going to keep learning. Well, they're relaxing because they went to college. I'm still going, baby. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a reason why you are who you are today. Dwayne, you're such an inspiration, man. You know, thank you for sharing that. Dwayne, what did you lose permanently on the way back? Something you actually missed?
I lost my free time.
Okay.
So what I mean by that, the funny thing is, it's going to sound weird, but I'm a big video game guy, or I used to be. This is one of the things I lost. I would stay at home. I'd be ranked in the top, 5% in this particular video game in PlayStation. But I realized the better I got in video games, the less productive I was as a person. So that's one of the things I lost. The other thing I lost was certain types of friends. Friends that were okay, and the only thing they wanted to talk about was sports and girls. But I knew in order for me to grow, I had to leave certain things behind. Some of those friends were really cool, but they weren't good for me, right? PlayStation to this day, if it was up to me, I would be at home right now playing video games. But I made the decision for myself and for my family, it's not time for that. There will be time for me to do that, but it's not right now.
Like you said, I think there are certain people in our lives who play a specific part, and then you should know when to let go.
Yeah.
And someone watching this right now is exactly where you were. What do you say to them?
The only person who gets to dictate your future is the one that you shave in the morning.
That is so beautiful.
I'm a VP of account management, manage a book of business over $200 million, have over 100 plus employees at this software company. I don't qualify for the account manager, for the salesperson's role that I'm hiring for right now. I don't qualify. You gotta have a college degree. I don't have that. Wow. So the sentence would be, only you get to determine where your future goes. You can't afford to let outside influences affect how you spend your days. Not your circumstances, not the city you grow up. You don't have any parents. You don't have any brothers or sisters. You can't allow any of that to determine where you go. It's got to be you. That'll be my sentence.
Well, Dwayne is a very humble soul. I know him personally. I am so thankful and I'm so blessed to be knowing people like him, and for people around the world, no matter what zip code you're in. I think what Dwayne is saying, it is you. You decide your future, no one else.